Okay, so today we are going to discuss in this lecture the current based relaying scheme which is applicable to transmission line as well as distribution feeders. So, the overcurrent protection of transmission lines is the cheapest and simplest type of scheme used for the protection of lines as well as feeders. When we say that the name itself suggests, the overcurrent indicates that the relay operates and its contact that closes when the current exceeds the predetermined value, that is known as pickup or the plug setting. So, basically plug setting or pickup value is known as the value of the current above which relay starts operating. So, that means if I consider, just give you an example, if I have a current value that is, let us say the current is 5 ampere, and if current exceeds, let us say 5 ampere, then relay operates. So, this 5 ampere is known as the pickup value or plug setting. So, relay which is known as overcurrent relay, it is always connected on the secondary of CT. So, it has only one input, that is current. So, it is always connected on the secondary of CT, that is known as current transformer. So, this current transformer is normally denoted by this symbol, and whenever I want to connect the relay across this CT, then I am going to connect on the secondary side of this CT. Let us say its terminal is S1 and S2, these two are the secondary terminals of CT. So, relay is connected always across the S1 and S2. Relay is connected means the relay coil is connected across secondary of CT and PT. Each relay has its relay coil, and this relay coil has some standard number. So, that two numbers that should be connected to the secondary of CT, that is S1 and S2. Primary of CT, that is normally denoted by the terminal name P1 and P2. So, CT has 4 terminals, P1 and P2, those are primary terminals, S1 and S2, these two are the secondary terminals, and across this S1 and S2 relay is connected. So, there are different types of overcurrent relays. So, it can be classified based on the characteristic, which type of characteristic we use. As I have discussed earlier, that the relay that can be classified based on what type of characteristic that is used, what type of construction they have, and what type of parts they are going to utilize. So, here let us see the classification of overcurrent relay based on the type of characteristic that is used by the relay. So, the first type of relay, that is known as the instantaneous overcurrent relay. So, instantaneous overcurrent relay is basically the first type of relay. The second type of relay, that is known as the definite minimum time overcurrent relay. The third type of relay, that is known as inverse time overcurrent relay, and the fourth type of relay, that is known as inverse definite minimum time overcurrent relay. So, let us start our discussion with the first type of relay, that is known as instantaneous overcurrent relay. So, instantaneous overcurrent relay, as the name suggests, the relay operates if current exceeds the plug setting or pickup value, then relay operates instantaneously. Now, actually in practical field, no such relay is available that operates in 0 time. So, we can define that if any relay operates in 1 cycle or maybe up to 1 to 2 cycle or 1 to 3 cycles, say in terms, if I consider 50 hertz as the fundamental frequency, then if any relay operates in 20 millisecond to 40 millisecond, then those relay we can consider as instantaneous overcurrent relays. This type of relay has only one setting, it has no time setting because it operates instantaneously. So, if current exceeds plug setting or some pickup value, then relay operates instantaneously, there is no time involved in that. So, this relay can be made by different construction philosophies such as attracted armature type, induction disc type, induction cup type. So, let us see what is the characteristic of instantaneous overcurrent relay. So, as you can visualize the characteristic that is shown here. So, on x axis we have multiple of pickup current, and on y axis we have time of operation. So, normally the question comes in mind that why the characteristic of overcurrent relay, that is not the current versus time, but it is always the some multiple of pickup current versus time. So, the reason is, if I consider the characteristic of current versus time, then for different value of current I have different operating time. So, for even one and this type of this for different value of current, which we called as fault current, because it is greater than the full load current and it is multiple of several times of full load current. So, for that if I draw the characteristic in terms of time, then that is very difficult for the user as well as manufacturer to provide such characteristics. So, that is why such type of characteristic is always given in terms of multiple of pickup current. So, this multiple of pickup current, that is normally denoted by MP. So, MP is nothing but multiple of pickup current. Sometimes it is also known by PSM, which is known as plug setting multiplier. So, plug setting multiplier, that is also similar to the your multiple of pickup current. So, if I consider multiple of pickup current on x axis as we have considered here, and if I consider time of operation in second on y axis, then the characteristic of instantaneous overcurrent relay, that is given by this. You can see that the pickup value I have shown here. So, pickup value or plug setting, if current exceeds this value, then relay operates within some specific time period. This time period, that is instantaneous in nature. So, relay operates instantaneously if current exceeds its pickup value. The second thing very important is the drop off to pickup ratio of this relay. So, whatever relay available in market, it has some pickup value, say this value we have set here, some pickup value. It has also has some drop off value. So, drop off value is when current gets discontinued, what will be the value of at that particular point of time, that is known as drop off value. So, if I take drop off to pickup ratio, then this should be always greater than 90%, then the relay is very good. So, the whenever we design the relay or whenever any manufacturer designs the instantaneous overcurrent relay, it tries to maintain the drop off to pickup ratio greater than 90%. So, whatever relay presently available, it has the drop off to pickup ratio roughly around 95 to 97%. So, with this background, let us see what is the application of instantaneous overcurrent relay. So, instantaneous overcurrent relay, as that can be used alone, it can be rarely used. So, we cannot use as a single relay, we cannot use directly into the field for maybe for protection of transmission line or distribution feeders. So, it is always used associated with some other type of relay. So, most of the relay that is provided with instantaneous instantaneous overcurrent relay, and this relay is known as, this relay has one setting that is known as IHU, instantaneous high set unit, and its setting value is normally 400% to 2000% of the IN, where IN is nothing but the relay rated current. Relay rated current, that can be always either 1 ampere or it can be 5 ampere. So, this is standard that whenever I connect any relay across the secondary of CT, that is 2 terminals as I explained earlier, S1 and S2, then the rated current of the relay, that is always either 1 ampere or 5 ampere. So, this is standardized. So, primary of the CT, and one more thing is, whenever I consider CT which has primary side and which has another secondary side, and as the relay is connected on secondary of CT, so secondary side of the CT, that is always matched with this relay rated current. So, if I have CT secondary 1 ampere, then I have to connect 1 ampere rated current relay with this. If I have 5 ampere CT secondary, then I have to connect 5 ampere rated current relay with this CT secondary. It is not possible that I have 5 ampere rated current relay and I connect it with the 1 ampere CT secondary, it is normally not done. The main application of instantaneous overcurrent relay is, it is used for short circuit protection of electrical equipment. So, whenever I want very small operating time against very high short circuit magnitude of current, then such type of relay that is used. Let us see second type of relay, that is known as a definite time or definite minimum time overcurrent relay. The definite minimum time overcurrent relay is a relay that operates after a particular definite period of time or after some preset value of time. So, if current exceeds pickup value or plug setting, and whatever time you have set, relay operates after that much period of time. So, that is known as definite minimum time relay. So, this relay compared to the earlier relay instantaneous overcurrent relay, which has only one setting, that is current setting, this relay has two settings, one is known as current setting and the other is known as time setting. So, the current setting range, as I told you earlier, normally we consider multiple of pickup current. So, its setting range is 50 to 200%. So, if I consider the setting range of the definite minimum time overcurrent relay, DMT relay, then its setting range is given in steps of from 50% to 200% of relay rated current, that is IN. Let us say it is 1 ampere. So, its setting range, this is the current setting range. So, current setting range is given from 50% to 200% of relay rated current, that is 1 ampere, and this is in steps of 25%. So, starting if I start with 50%, then its setting range is 50%, 75%, 100%, 125%, 150%, 175% and 200%. So, total 7 setting range are available with reference to relay rated current. This 7 setting range are available for electromechanical type relay. If I have the digital relay, then you have a multiple ranges, maybe from say any value if you wish. So, you have the any multiple type of range for digital relay. So, on the other hand, the time setting range for this definite minimum time relay, that is of the order of 0.1 to 1 second or 1 to 10 second or 6 to 60 second. So, if I use English Electric make relay, then earlier they were providing the setting range time setting range of 0.1 to 1 second. Some other manufacturer they provide also the time setting range from 1 to 10 second or 6 to 60 second. So, it depends on what for what type of application we are utilizing definite minimum type overcurrent relay. So, if I consider now how to achieve the time of operation or how to obtain or find out the time of operation of this definite time overcurrent relay. So, if I consider the electromechanical relay, then the relay characteristic can be achieved by the equation as shown. So, the equation is on left hand side you have TOP, which is known as time of operation of relay in second, and from on right hand side we have the A divided by MP raised to n minus 1 into TDS plus C. So, here MP is nothing but the multiple of pickup current. So, if I consider the multiple of pickup current MP, then MP is defined as the fault current referred to CT secondary side divided by the plug setting or pickup value of the relay. So, if I consider say one feeder connected between two bus A and B, and if I consider the one CT, say its ratio is 100 by 1, primary 100, secondary 1 ampere, and I have connected one relay here, say overcurrent relay. So, normally in actual field all this relay, whenever I mention the name of the relay name is not written completely. So, I am not going to write the relay name as say overcurrent relay. Instead of that, they denote this relay with the number. So, overcurrent relay is the given the number, that is 51. So, if I consider the other type of relay, then say some other type of relay, then they are the number that is given to that relay, that is different. Say if I consider negative CF sequence relay, the number is 46. If I consider the distance relay, the number is 21 and so on. So, there are several numbers given for or assigned for each specific type of relay. So, in this case if I consider the fault current on this feeder is, let us say, 500 ampere. So, in this case and let us also consider the full load current of this feeder is, let us say, 90 ampere. So, the plug setting of this relay is nothing but the 90 ampere, that is the full load current, divided by CT ratio, that is 100. So, the value is 0.9. If I convert this value in percentage, it is 90%. So, plug setting or pickup value of the relay, that should be always greater than 90%. So, as I told you, 7 settings are available from 50% to 200% in steps of 25%. So, the higher than this value, that is nothing but the 100%, that we can select as a plug setting or pickup value of this relay, overcurrent relay 51. So, if I want to find out the multiple of pickup current, for this case with 500 ampere is the fault current, then the multiple of pickup current, that is given by the fault current referred to CT secondary. So, fault current is 500 ampere, and if I referred on secondary side, then the CT ratio is 100 by 1, and divide by plug setting of the relay, that is 100% of relay rated current. Let us say relay rated current is 1 ampere, then the plug setting is 100% of 1 ampere, that is 1 ampere. So, the multiple of pickup current, that comes out to be 5 in this case, right. So, in this equation, the multiple of pickup current, that is fault current on CT secondary side by plug setting, that is calculated like this. The value of TDS, that is nothing but known as time dial setting of the relay, or sometimes it is also known as the time multiplier setting of the relay. So, both are same. So, time multiplier setting of the relay is nothing but on the dial setting of time setting of the relay, the manufacturer is providing time dial setting from 0.1 second to 1 second in steps of 0.05 second or some other range. So, this dial setting is known as time dial setting, and this is based on this time dial setting, time of operation of relay, that varies. On the same equation, if I consider A, B and C, then capital A, capital B and capital C, these three are the constants, and these three constants depends on the what type of characteristic you want to obtain, and that is to be decided at the time of design of the relay. So, normally for definite time overcurrent relay, the capital value of C, that is considered as 0, and the capital value of A and B, that is almost close to the 0, and if you put this value in this equation, then you can obtain the or you can calculate the time of operation of the definite minimum time relay. If I consider the static relay, so earlier equation, this equation 1, that is applicable for electromechanical type relay. If I consider the static relay, then for static type of relay, the time of operation of relay, that can be given by this equation, let us say equation 2. So, in this equation, if I consider on left hand side, the TOP is the time of operation of relay in second, the MP is the same as I explained earlier, it is multiple of pickup current and it is obtained by fault current referred to CT secondary divided by plug setting of the relay. Exponent M is an exponent, so that depends on again what type of curve we wish. TDS is the time dial setting of the relay, and the value of B and value of K, value of small a and value of capital C, all are constant. So, AB, the value of C is normally very small, 0.01, K is also very small, that is also 0.01, and the value of small a and small b, that depends on what type of characteristic we wish to achieve. So, with this background, let us discuss the characteristic of definite minimum time overcurrent relay. So, as you can see that on x axis I have considered the multiple of pickup current, and on y axis I have considered the time of operation of relay. So, you can visualize that the on the x axis where I have considered the multiple of pickup current, you have the pickup value. So, if whatever value you have set or plug setting, if current exceeds that value, then relay operates in preset time. So, this time you have to set on the time dial setting. So, this time you can vary. So, this time can be at one case it is like this time can be like this time can be like this. So, this you can vary. So, the main point is how the relay definite minimum time relay operates. If you set some pickup value, then if the current exceeds pickup value, irrespective of magnitude of fault current, whatever it is on x axis, relay operates after some preset time, whatever that is which you have set on the relay. After that much time period, relay operates. So, that is why it is known as definite minimum time relay. What is the application of definite minimum time over current relay? So, this relays find their application in the protection of radial feeder, where current discrimination normally is not possible and you have to use some other type of discrimination, that is time discrimination. So, in that case you have to use such type of relay. Sometimes this type of relay is also used for giving overload alarm of the generators or induction motors also. Maybe in case of transformer also we can use this type of relay. If I use induction motors, then for stalling protection of induction motors also we can use definite minimum time relay, because stalling is a phenomena that occurs in induction motor, but that in that case instantaneous tripping is not required. So, we can give time delayed tripping with the help of definite minimum time over current relay. So, now let us see third type of relay, that is known as inverse time over current relay. It is also denoted by the letters IOC, inverse time over current relay. So, as the name suggests, the time of operation of this relay, that is inversely proportional to the fault current, and it is most widely used relay, because whenever you use this relay, if fault occurs very near to the source, then the minimum time of operation is achieved and relay operates with minimum time. So, the tripping time is also very less and we can save the equipment against the whatever is the magnitude of fault current which is going to damage the equipment. So, that we can save the equipment from the hazard of the damage done by the higher magnitude of fault current. So, let us see the characteristic of inverse time over current relay. So, I have shown 4 different characteristics. So, you can see that the first characteristic, that is the normal inverse characteristic. So, this type of relay is known as normal inverse type inverse time over current relay. So, it is normally given by the name inverse time over current relay having normal inverse characteristic. So, when I have normal inverse characteristic, the characteristic curve is like this. I do have the other type of characteristic. So, inverse time over current relay with very inverse characteristic and inverse time of over current relay with extremely inverse characteristic. So, you can see this type of 2 characteristic I have shown, where the curve becomes more steeper and steeper. I have also shown the another type of characteristic, that is IDMT characteristic, in which the relay is known as inverse definite minimum time relay. So, we will see later on that what is IDMT relay, but in inverse time over current relay 3 characteristic I have shown, that is normal inverse, very inverse and extremely inverse, and depending upon the requirement what type of curve we wish and what type of for what type of application we are utilizing, we can select appropriate characteristic and we can consider the each and every inverse time over current relay. The main how to achieve this type of characteristic. So, I told you earlier we have discussed 2 equations, one for electromechanical relay and another for static relay. So, by adjusting the value of several constants as we have discussed earlier, we can have the normal inverse characteristic, we can have the very inverse characteristic and we can have the extremely inverse characteristic. The manufacturer is providing different types of characteristic, because whenever we install such type of relay, we have to coordinate this type of relay with the load side device, load side protective device. So, normally load side protective device is either fuse or MCB. So, this fuse or MCB has some specific type of characteristic or curve. So, whatever characteristic of this fuse or MCB has, we have to coordinate exactly with the overcurrent relay which we have installed. So, when we coordinate overcurrent relay with fuse or MCB characteristic, we may need different types of characteristic like normal inverse, very inverse, extremely inverse. So, that is why manufacturer is providing such type of characteristic. If I consider the digital relay, then total 15 type of characteristic that is provided by digital relay, starting from normal inverse, very inverse, extremely inverse, rarely inverse, standard inverse, medium inverse and so on. So, depending upon the application and requirement, you can consider or select a specific type of characteristic. So, if I consider the inverse time over current relay, as I told you earlier, by adjusting or selecting the several constants, we can obtain the each and every type of characteristic. So, if I consider electromechanical relay, where the equation is given by this equation 1. So, you can see that in that this equation the constants are capital A, B and C. So, if I wish to use or obtain normal inverse characteristic, then I have to select the constants 0.092, 0.02 and 0.149, and hence accordingly for very inverse and extremely inverse I have to select the appropriate value of capital A, capital B and capital C. Similarly, if I want IDMT characteristic, that is inverse definite minimum time characteristic, then I have to select the values, that is of A 0.14, B that is 0.02 and C that is 0. Same way for static relays also, the equation is shown here below, that is 2. We can select the appropriate values of small a, small b and small n, and for each specific type of characteristic, by selecting these values, right, each and every value, we have the different types of characteristic we can achieve. The fourth type of relay, that is known as inverse definite minimum time over current relay. So, this relay is known as IDMT type relay. This is the most widely used relay because the operating principle of inverse definite minimum time relay is achieved by two different relays. One is the inverse over current relay and the other is the definite minimum time delay relay. So, initially for several magnitudes of current which is multiple of full load current or pickup value, the time of operation of relay IDMT relay is inversely proportional to the current, and after some point of time where the magnitude of current becomes very high, let us say the 20 times the pickup value, then after this point the time of operation of IDMT relay, that is again switched over to the definite minimum time relay. So, up to pickup value or multiple pickup of 1 to 20, the time of operation of IDMT relay is inversely proportional to magnitude of current, and after if the multiple of pickup current exceeds 20 or some specific value as decided, then the time of operation of IDMT relay that becomes constant and it follows the definite minimum time principle. The main point of the IDMT relay is that why we are utilizing two different inverse time over current relay and definite minimum time relay for obtaining the IDMT relay. The reason is after several magnitudes of fault current, say 20 times the full load current or pickup value, the torque which is produced or exerted on the disc of the rotor for electromechanical relay, that becomes constant because of the constant flux produced. So, in that case the whatever the arrangement is done, it is done in such a way that we can have the two different characteristic, that is initially it follows inverse time over current relay characteristic and later on it follows definite minimum time relay characteristic. Now for all these four types of overcurrent relay which we have discussed, starting from the instantaneous overcurrent relay first, second definite minimum time relay, third that is inverse time overcurrent relay, and the fourth is the inverse definite minimum time relay. So, all four types of overcurrent relay, 2 points are very important. The one point is CT sorting arrangement that is to be carried out to avoid high voltage that is being induced across the CT secondary. Now, what is this CT sorting switch? So, whenever as I told you earlier, CT has two terminals on secondary side S1 and S2, and I am going to connect the relay coil across these two terminals. Let us say relay number is 9 and 10 for electromechanical relay. So, whenever I remove this relay, or from this S1 and S2, because relay is always connected on CT secondary, then CT secondary should not be open circuited. If I open circuit the CT secondary and keep open, then very high voltage is induced or produced across CT secondary, and if person is working in the substation, then he may get a shock on the against this very high voltage available across CT secondary. So, mostly in actual substation, almost all the CTs are provided with the device known as CT sorting switch. So, the function of this CT sorting switch is, whenever you remove the relay from the CT, then automatically the CT secondary is automatically closed by this CT sorting switch. So, this is a very important point when you consider any type of overcurrent relay. The next point you have to consider, that is the trip circuit isolation arrangement. So, now we know that whenever I connect any relay across the CT secondary, this relay has to operate only and only when fault occurs on the line, right. Say this CT is connected, and if any fault occurs on this feeder or line, then this relay has to operate. But we do not know at what instant fault occurs. Sometimes fault may occur maybe twice, thrice in a year, or sometimes it may not occur maybe for 2 years. So, this relay has to operate only in case of fault. So, periodically we have to carry out testing of this relay. The normal practice is we have to carry out the testing twice in a month. So, when we carry out periodical testing of the relay, then what we have to do? We have to remove the relay from the case, from the panel, and then we have to give some external current injection through current injection test kit to the relay, and we have to check whether the relay disc, if it is electromechanical type or maybe static relay or digital, then we have to check whether relay operates with specific time period as given by the manufacturer or not. Now, when we carry out such type of testing, this relay coil or relay contacts that is associated with the trip coil of circuit breaker. So, whenever we carry out periodic testing of this relay operates and it gives signal to the trip coil of circuit breaker, and circuit breaker will further give initiation command, and if I have connected the breaker here, then breaker may become open. So, to avoid unnecessary opening of circuit breaker while we are doing periodic testing of the relay, then we have to use some circuit known as trip circuit isolation. So, trip circuit isolation is a type of circuit in which when periodic testing of the relay is carried out, then the trip coil of circuit breaker that is bypassed. So, even though relay operates, it will not give or issue a signal to the circuit breaker, and unnecessary operation of circuit breaker that can be avoided. The question may come, sir, if we are doing periodic testing and fault occurs on the line, what will happen? So, in that case, as a primary relay on which we are carry out periodic testing, that relay is not going to operate, but we do have some backup relay. So, we have to rely on backup relay itself, unless and until we use digital relay which has a capability of self checking, self testing feature. So, we need not to carry out periodic testing of those relays, it is capable to carry out its checking itself, and we can avoid such thing. So, with this background we have considered in this lecture, we started with different types of overcurrent relay, that is from instantaneous overcurrent relay, definite minimum time relay, inverse time overcurrent relay, and inverse definite minimum time overcurrent relay. And we have discussed that what is the characteristic of each and every relay, and what is the for what using what equation we can achieve those different characteristic of the relay. So, by selecting different constant, we can achieve the different relay characteristic for different types of overcurrent relay. Now, how we can utilize this relay in actual field, that we will discuss later on in the next class. Thank you.